Hi guys, good morning. I'm not gonna do a reaction for music right now, but recently we have been seeing a lot of video reactions, especially for the upcoming series in GMA at Telebaba block, which is the Voltes 5 Legacy. Voltes 5 is a worldwide phenomenon in the sense that since its release in the 70s and re-released in the 90s and again in the 20s. It has a huge following, an intergenerational anime. Before it hits our national television, I've seen a lot of videos, and even my friends who have been to the cinema have seen the film and were able to really justify that this is going to be one of the best productions or one of the best films we ever had in the recent decades. Storytelling, especially when it comes to sound effects, visual effects, the use of these technologies that we have been left far behind, especially in our neighboring Southeast Asian countries. I have a friend who is actually an IT expert and a computer graphic professional. She saw my reaction video for the Voltes 5 Noata theme song just recently, right? You can check the comment the link below, and directly messaged me, "Hey Brian, I will give you my feedback right after I watch the cinematic experience of Voltes 5 Legacy." And last night, I don't want to screenshot because he told me now I don't want to be included in the video. So to my friend, thank you so much for the feedback. So there are things that I would like to talk about when it comes to the overall package of Voltes 5 cinematic experience, and before it hits our national television for free this May 8th. Let's talk about effects. I haven't seen the cinematic experience yet, right? But he said, compare to what we had, like films or television series that were most associated with visual effects, especially fantasy series. This is a big leap from that department, which means it can be at par with the minimum standard internationally. There are graphics images in the film that need more improvement. For most parts, it was well made. Something that you really can be proud of. Something that you can really show off to other people, especially in other countries. Hey, this is a Philippine-made production. Even though we're lagging behind when it comes to technology and animation, this is our best entry in that department. The effects are great in the sense if you're going to compare it with the existing and prior projects that we had in the past. There are still more to improve if we are going to compete with other international outfits. But the future is brighter. The future Filipino films that would use this kind of technology would have a better chance. But in the current platform that we have, Voltes 5 has the highest rating, visual effects, sound effects, and scoring, and that kind of stuff, with 9.2 at IMDb. Yeah, there are a lot of Filipino films that have scored higher than other previous films, but it is the first time a live animation garnered that rating from IMDb. Second, its international appeal. Browsing through YouTube, you could see a myriad of video reactions, not just from Pinoy reactors or local reactors, but also coming from international community. I've seen a lot of Japanese reactors and content creators who have been reacting to Voltes 5 full trailer of GMA. And you know what's very common, or the denominator among these international reactors, especially Japanese reactors? Well done. One of the videos that I've watched just earlier had even goosebump reaction, So the international appeal of Voltes 5 Legacy is at par with Toei Animation, or in coordination or in accordance. It's within the premise of Toei's observation and supervision. Every little detail of every episode is critically scrutinized. Third, the preparation. Aside from a big budgeted series, the preparation took more than 2 to 3 years. Well, pandemic came in, and then a lot of possible lineups were presented by GMA earlier this year, and I think that it didn't have that time frame or schedule yet. But the preparedness of the staff, the production, and the company has allowed Voltes 5 to really navigate its own schedule, and it's coming on May 8th. Why is preparation so important? Visual effects, graphics, CGI, and everything are things that you cannot achieve overnight. It takes a lot of expertise, technicalities, and coordination from different departments, because it's not just one lens production, it's a multi-angle lens production, and it has to be taken care of properly. But you know what's the sad part right here? The Filipino audience. I don't care if you are GMA fanatic, ABCBN, or whatever. Word war. I'm sorry for the word, but it gets into my nerve, you know. That's the reason why we don't really go further, because of this division that we have. And this system that we currently have in the entertainment is disgusting. It's disappointing. It is the fans, the solid fans of the networks who are fighting, who are having, you know, word war. It's actually making us look bad into international arena. If you're gonna go to the US, their artists can jump from one network to another. They're not binded with a contract. After a contract, for example, with CBS, an actor can go to NBC, and then to Disney, and then to Amazon, and to whatever network the actor would love to work with. And that's the reason why the entertainment industry flourishes. And here we are in the Philippines, pulling each other down because we don't want the other one to get ahead of us. Despite the fact that it's obviously a good production, and now another party is actually doing a black propaganda. I get it. We have the colonial mentality that hasn't been wiped out yet. When I think it will take so many 100 years to be taken away from us, or to be totally wiped out from our existence. Now the division will always pull us down, and we can never achieve greater heights of success if we keep doing it. The production, what Jimmy did, especially for Voltes 5, is actually a hope. It's hope. It's an employment for the rest of our computer and IT professionals, and the coming computer science graduates and IT professionals coming into the workforce. It has a ripple effect. If we are able to establish a good market for our IT professional, computer science professionals here in the Philippines, then the professional diaspora will be lessened until these professionals will no longer see abroad as the only way out of poverty. Guys, I'm in my room already kasi hindi ko natapos kanina. May ginawa kasi ako sa office, medyo naubos yung oras ko. But anyhow, let's go back to what we talked about just earlier this app. It's really a sad reality that we have in the Philippines, because, you know, wherever you go, whatever you do, or in whatever industry or sector or field, there's always this kind of mentality that robs off of our opportunity, of our potential, of our chances of moving ahead as one people, as one country, as one nation. I may not be that professional or IT expert, but I have an eye for some aesthetics, you know. For the past 10 years that I've watched international films, and so do you. International movies, DC, Marvel, and there are things that I could tell already when it comes to, oh, this is good and this is not. You know what I mean? Now, if you're watching It's okay if you don't want to. If it's okay if you don't agree with me, it's all right. I'm not actually here to persuade you to think the way I think right now, or to influence you in your decision making. But one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I want to really open your mind and the great possibility that if this movie with this with the expectation behind it and the responsibility that it carries on its shoulder would be able to fulfill its duty beyond expectation, then you should be happy. Why? A family of yours maybe, or a friend of yours maybe, who's actually an IT enthusiast, and somehow get inspired by Voltes 5, that there's hope in the animation industry in the Philippines. Don't let our differences when it comes to network get in the way, get in the success of what this movie is all about. It has a lot of weight on its shoulder that every Filipino should be proud of, because for the first time ever, we now have the opportunity to showcase the best of what we can offer to the world of what Filipino ingenuity, technical expertise is. And you might be a catalyst of change. But until these things are not addressed properly, we can never achieve greater heights of success.
Well, let's practice. Make